Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your brother Najib here with Uthman, the one and only.
Stop.
So inshallah, today we have a nice, beautiful program that we're starting, a beautiful beginning, inshallah ta'ala. And we're starting a new series called Deen Love Q&A. All right? Where people can submit their questions at our email right here, which hopefully you see it clearly, at deenlovetoday@gmail.com, and you can share and ask any of your questions, and we'll be, inshallah ta'ala, hopefully we'll pick a few from the list of questions that get submitted, and hopefully you're one of the chosen ones if you ever ask a question, right? Don't be shy. Everything will be anonymous, right? We'll never ever share anybody's identity or anything like that.
Right. So, and also we need to make a clarification, because I know there will be some people who would want to jump up and get excited about this. These are not fatwa. These are strictly nasiha, right? These are advices, right? So, inshallah ta'ala, if we are brothers who are aiming nothing but good and with sincerity to give our brothers and sisters and ourselves first the advices, right, that come out of these answering these questions, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll be quoting scholars and scholarly works as well. So these are not from our pockets, right, but these are from those who have preceded us and for those who are above us in ranks of knowledge, right? Because at the end of the day, me and my brother were only students of students of students of students, right? So we are utilizing whatever we can. The Prophet ﷺ, he says give, he says convey the knowledge from me, even if it's one ayah, right? So inshallah ta'ala, this is our aim in doing this, right? Nothing more and nothing less. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, may Allah assist us in.
Question of the day. All right. Question here. We're assuming it is from a brother. All right. Everything anonymous. Anonymous is the right word, right?
Anonymous is correct.
Okay. It means you're hidden. No one will ever know anyone's identity. So submit your questions anytime. The brother says, we're hoping it's a brother. I'm a student in university and I have a Christian classmate who is good-hearted. I ask Allah to open his heart to Islam. Because we're classmates, we see each other often in the university and we cooperate in various things. I try as much as I can on the basis of what I have knowledge to show him the easygoing nature of Islam. Whenever I have an opportunity to do so, because he greatly appreciates good manners and kindness. Okay, my question is, sometimes he asks me to give a right. He asks me to give him a right to the church, or he asks me how to deal with a problem that has arisen with his girlfriend. I try to change the subject or to avoid his asking me these things. Is there any sin on me if I help him in these matters? Or am I obliged? Obliged? How do you say? Thank you. Or am I obliged, if I say it right, not to help him? What is the guideline regarding such matters? I mean cooperation between a Muslim and a non-Muslim. May Allah reward you with good. Please pray for him that Allah will guide him at my hands. So a beautiful, sincere brother here. And he has a Christian friend. And he's wondering if he can assist him in some of these things which are taking him to the church. Or if he has problems with his girlfriend. Helping him out with those matters. Ustad, what are your thoughts on that?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله له الحمد الحسن والثناء الجميل وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له يقول الحق وهو يهدي سبيل وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد, this issue here, I think that I'm going to try to tackle it the best I can, but try to make it general as possible. And what this boils down to is what should be our relationship with non-Muslims, right? And how close shall we keep them? Because what we have to realize is that befriending non-Muslims are not the same as befriending Muslims, right? Befriending a Muslim You have the same type of guidelines that you live by. You have the same principles. You can tell the individual, hey, look, stop what you're doing because this, that, right? And the person will be inclined, will actually be obliged to listen to you. As for the non-Muslim, you can't stop them from their haram. You can't filter that out.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. So with this, you have to come and approach it in a different manner, right? Which means that your level of friendship needs to be really, really cautious, right? And it needs to be limited, right? Because there's only so much you can do if the individual is talking to you about haram, right? And they're asking you advice in their haram. I mean, how do you say, like what do you say if this brother tells you or this guy tells you, look, I have a girlfriend, what do you think I should do? She's saying this, I need some relationship advice. Do you give the person advice? No, you are aiding the person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, He says, help each other in the good, birr wa taqwa, right? And He says, do not aid each other in those things that are that are keeping you away, right?
Yep, al-ith wal-udwan, right?
Al-ith wal-udwan, right? And the transgression. Do not aid each other in the transgression. So, if this here, obviously, the person is not even Muslim, right? What more transgression is that the person doesn't believe in Allah, right?
Yeah.
And then you are aiding that person in relationship advice. You can't say to him, look, you should stop. It's not pleasing to Allah. You should leave this matter alone. You can't tell him that, right? So, I mean, what can you do in that situation, right? So then, it puts you in a very difficult position.
Really, really, really difficult.
Yes, because what you may be doing or saying may be something that is displeasing to Allah.
Yep. So the basis, or really the strong dalil for this situation, Ustad mentioned it, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even with the relationship of the believers. So let's say me and Uthman right now, we're friends.
Yeah.
Close in age, right? So we're friends, we're buddies, we hang out, alhamdulillah, we're hoping it's a good, we're brothers, we have a level of a relationship, right? A relationship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it a guideline, which is وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. That we help each other in the good things and in the things that get us near to Allah. And then we have another guideline, which is وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ, which is don't help each other. I'm not going to help Uthman commit a sin or have him do something that gets him away from Allah. Same type of format here. If that's a situation between two Muslims,
Absolutely.
Imagine a Muslim and a non-Muslim. I mean, even at a greater level, correct?
Right.
And so if you're going to help him in things that would get him nearer to Allah, or general things that are, you know what I mean, from a human to a human, correct?
Right.
Is that? But you cannot help him or aid him in something that would take him away from Allah even further.
Right, absolutely. Right.
SubhanAllah.
And
Really sensitive.
And also the issue here is not really specific to this individual, because many of us have non-Muslim friends, and I know a lot of us, even myself.
Oh, yep,
I
all
was
of
put
us.
into difficult situations like this, where a friend who's non-Muslim is asking for my counsel was something that is displeasing to Allah. Right? And of course, the person's not Muslim, right? The person's not Muslim, so somebody may say...
So he doesn't know his
watching-
limitations, yeah.
So somebody in the crowd may say, wait, well, the person's not Muslim in the first place. Why
do
does it
we
matter
care?
of the situation? Because even though this is not something that may be incumbent on him at the time, these guidelines and these principles, this is something that's surely incumbent upon you to follow. So, this may be a sort of a boomerang, if you speak, that will just come back and get you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is why we should be having our friends, our close friends, where we have discussions and close counsel with should be Muslims, right? Because then you're not put in difficult situations like this. As for the da'wah aspect, of course, beautifully you should be giving da'wah to everyone, right?
Yeah.
You should be giving da'wah to Muslims as well as non-Muslims, right? We want Muslims to come to Islam. We want those or non-Muslims, to come to Islam, and then we want the Muslims who are away to come back to Allah, right? So in that sense, of course, giving rides and those sort of things are a nice way to soften the person's heart.
Yes. So to add to that, some of our notes here that we have here says you should understand that it is not permissible to soften his heart by encouraging him to do unlawful things. Rather, it is permissible for you to keep quiet about his evil deeds until you find a suitable time and opportunity to speak about them. So, to conclude here, you don't help anyone, a Muslim or a non-Muslim, in something that would take them away from Allah. There is that misconception that some people say he's not even a Muslim, so those boundaries are not made for him.
Yeah.
No, the boundaries are set for a Muslim or a non-Muslim. Just because, you know, it happens all the time, right? Back in the days, even when we were going to school, right? Sometimes some people, they find out the food has pork in it or something, and they would give it to their non-Muslim friends. Like, hey, you have it.
SubhanAllah. You know,
Stan, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think it is true, you know, and we need to start being very cautious of our surroundings.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times we do use that sort of argument.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to be like easygoing with the non-Muslims in the sense that you don't really have to practice in front of them, or show them that these are your boundaries, right?
Yeah.
Hududullah, these are the boundaries of Allah, right?
Yeah.
So don't transgress them,
Yeah.
right? So Allah, this is for every single moment, right? Just like the same way, nobody's gonna come and say, I can backbite my manager who's not a Muslim because he's a non-Muslim. Who says something like that? So backbiting is haram
in general,
Muslim and Muslim.
Yes.
You cannot do that, right? And you aiding a non-Muslim in backbiting is just as haram as you aiding a Muslim in backbiting, right?
Yeah. So there are some legalities that are universal, and that's a huge misconception that a lot of people have. Hopefully, inshallah, that we cleared up, which means a Muslim or a non-Muslim, when something is wajib, it's wajib upon everybody.
Right.
Some people are meeting them, and some people are not meeting them. So, yeah. So, to add on to that, you can gently excuse yourself when some of these things are happening. I mean, so like some ways to avoid some of these tough situations. Hopefully you don't put yourself in there to begin with. But if you do, gently excuse yourself from some of those matters, and do whatever you can do to address them at a better, appropriate time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Appropriate time. But you're doing a great job. This brother's doing a great job. As long as you can keep this relationship and keep encouraging him to learn about the Deen and so on and so forth, as long as you don't find yourself in tougher situations like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if it means, it's just an extra note, if it means that you have to change the subject sometimes, do so. Change the subject to something else, right? Or, give even, I think times like this could be used in a moment of a da'wah.
Of course.
If the person is a Christian, you give the person dalil from his own deen that, this what you're doing is haram in the first place, right? And you make them think about that, right? If the person is a practicing Christian. So there's many ways you can go about it which pleases Allah, and that you're giving da'wah at the same time, right? And you don't have to resort to those ways where you're actually helping that person commit zina and fahisha and all of those other things. Wallahu a'la wa a'lam.
Yep, so this is our first Deen of Q&A. Tell us in the comments what your thoughts were, or what other advice you would give to this brother who is in this situation. So inshallah ta'ala, you can submit all of your questions at deenlovetoday@gmail.com. You can find all the descriptions and all those type of good stuff in the notes below the video. And we'll keep you in touch, and we will talk soon inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن